Okay, so we're back at server 1 again. We are at Unit 4, Guided Practice 4, Configuration, Multiple Scopes, and Other Advanced Features of DHCP. So we are going to go into our server 1. We're going to go implement a V6 scope and a multicast scope. So creating an additional scope. So in order to do this, we will have to go back into our server manager. We'll go back into Tools. We'll go back into DHCP. DHCP opens up. We'll expand DHCP. Bring DHCP down to here. Okay. And then we are going to go to IPv4. We're going to go New Scope. Use the New Scope wizard. And you're going to do New Scope similar to the above image. And the name of the scope is going to be... So we'll just go for now. We'll type in New Scope. And if we need to, we'll go back and change it, then hit Next. If you look at our instructions, we're looking at a 192.168.8.0. Our end address will be, our starting address will be a 1. Our end address will be a 192.168.8.250 what? We should be using 254. I used 252 last time because you said something about 252. So, but reality it should be 254. And our lease time here on this one is what? Do you see a lease time listed? So they're making assumptions here that you can do all this by yourself, right here. So click Next. We're going to take the default lease. There was nothing in here about exclusions or anything at this point, so we'll hit Next. If we need to, we can come back and enter exclusions. Okay. We'll go back to our lease duration, 8 days. Do you want to configure these options now? No. And then hit Finish. And I did that because we'll go back and look at it, but they wanted you to do some of the configuration without the instructions showing you. So I'm not going to go ahead and do them all with you, but I'm going to look and see what direction I can send you in. Okay, so as we come back over here, ours will look like what they've got. See where it says New Scope? Right click. Come down here, see where it says Activate. Go back to your DHCP. See where it says Scope, New Scope. Ours matches what they've got. Right click. And then come all the way down here. We didn't use the automated tool this time. I wanted you to see how to do it without using the automated tools. Remember, going back to that test question, there will be times when if you make changes to the system, you'll have to reactivate the scope, especially with Active Directory. So reactivate the scope, or activate the scope initially. You come down here and look, and everything here should be all green, and your scope is good to go. Okay. Okay, so the next part of our lab, what we're going to do, we'll close these back up. We're going to go to our IPv6. We've not done nothing with IPv6 yet, have we? So what we're going to do is in IPv6, we are going to right-click on IPv6. We're going to go New Scope. Tell me when you get there. Okay, next. And we will call this one, do they give us a name for this one? I don't see a name for this one, do you? First name? So we'll put our first name, once again, Jim. That makes sense because the other's named Jim too, the V4. Hit Next, and then they want your prefix in here. So we'll put our prefix, let me go ahead and get that for you. And following the lab, we will use the FECO, excuse me, FCO, ::, and preferences is set to 24, and we'll hit Next. Is invalid. Let's see if I hit the wrong thing. Okay, that was a 0, like I said, not the letter O, and I fat fingered the O and the 0 because they're beside each other. So our start IPv6 address, exclusions, So you'll hit next. Now, on the add exclusions, just hit next on this one here. And then we'll get to the scope lease. So, on the scope lease, do you see step 5, Brett? It said on the scope lease page, leave the defaults for preferred lifetime and valid lifetime. Then click next. So once it's just, we're just looking at them, right? Valid lifetime 12 days. Preferred lifetime is 8 hours. We'll hit next. And asks us if we want to activate the scope now. And right here, this time we'll actually use the menu and select yes. Okay. So now that's IPv6 scope is now configured. Set up rather to be configured. So now we'll go back to the DHCP console. We'll right-click IPv4. Right-click IPv4. We'll go New Multicast. Do you see New Multicast scope? Okay. So in the multicast scope, it's going to want a name. Just use your name. And then your start IP address. Here at multicast, they want us to use 224.0.0.0, and we're going to use 224.255.255.255. On the exclusion page, expiration page, activate multi-scope. So next. Add exclusions. Didn't say anything about adding exclusions, did it? Hours and minutes. Would you like to activate this multi-scope now? What are you going to click? Click next. So you didn't make any selections other than what we've just done, right? So, why do we use superscripts in DHCP? Click or tap here to enter your text. Click or tap here. And